An awesome day of digging it all. Well, welcome to Finding America. It's really nice to see you here. What a crazy weekend we had. Now, Friday was just full of all sorts of insane weather, and there definitely was going to be no detecting then. But by Saturday, the storm had passed, and it was bright blue skies. Now, I really wanted to get down to the field that were once the site of the old mill houses on the river. Now, as many of you know, I have pounded this place to death, but I couldn't think of a better place to go and try out my new Coiltek coils. Well, it looked like it was going to be a beautiful day, but when I got down there, man, the winds were insane. They were actually worse than when the storm was on top of us. So I thought, well, I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. Let me tell you, it was tough. But I did find some pretty cool things that I wanted to share with you. Well, it's another windy Saturday, just like last weekend. We had some wicked storms come through last night, and now we have a bunch of wind. So I haven't even been able to use my drop cloth out here because as soon as I lay it down, it wants to blow it like 50 yards away. So I'm trying to shield the wind. I'm hunting in Park 2. I've got that monster 15-inch round surge coil by Coiltek. First time using it. Got a couple signals out here and there was some deep iron, but you know, I knew it was probably going to be that by the numbers. But this one was giving me a 19, bouncing up to a 20, and it's almost a foot down, about 11 inches. I saw it had some color on the other side, so I kind of wanted to, I kind of have an idea what this is because it kind of landed, and I turned it over and I saw this. Maybe I don't know what it is. Let's see. Let me move that coil's picking me up. Huh. Some kind of a, I thought maybe it was a bicycle. I don't know, this is some kind of data plate. So let me get it cleaned up a little bit and we'll see what it was. But pretty cool find and very, very deep. Well, it's pretty cool. It's a neat shape for this tag, but it's got the model number and serial number. I think it says Myers, some kind of pumps. Something pumps. So pretty cool. Let's see if I can find anything out more about it when I get home. I can do a little research, but that's a pretty neat piece. I was going along and I was getting a choppy high tone. About 11 inches down, I finally got it out. And there it is. It's a old railroad spike. And those of you who've watched my channel a long time, I always enjoy finding these because it gives me a great excuse to show an awesome terrain picture. Well, my next target was giving me an intermittent high tone, and I was able to isolate it with the 5x10, and I dug down about 7-8 inches, and looks like I got the top hasp to a old padlock. So it's definitely old. It has a nice little green patina on it too, so pretty cool piece right there. Well, this one was giving me a 12, and I hope I'm blocking the wind enough. It is so windy again this weekend. And I gave it a little pop outside of my hole, and this popped up. So I grabbed my camera because it looks like something very interesting. Man, that's a big button, isn't it? You can see the two holes in the center. It was some kind of a sew-on button. Pretty fancy too. That's awesome. Definitely early 1900s at least. Could be even into the 1800s. But that's a great find. Well, after that, I just couldn't take it. The wind was crazy. As a matter of fact, every time I knelt down, it literally blew me over, and I've never had that happen to me before. So I decided it was time to change locations. I was going to head over to a nearby park, and I was kind of hoping that the winds wouldn't be as bad over there. Now, this is a very pounded park, but it's been on my list to take these new coils to and see how they do. Well, as soon as I got out of the vehicle, I could tell the winds were even worse over there. It was unbelievable. And with the old trees overhead, it was not going to be a safe place to metal attack. So I decided to return the next morning on Sunday for one last shot to metal attack for this video. I knew with only 5 hours to hunt the next day, I was going to have to dig like a madman. But I tell you what, by digging it all combined with that small coil, it turned out to be an awesome day after all. Well, I decided to come today to an old park that I've hunted for many, many years. I've tested so much equipment on this place. Found a lot of cool things. Originally it was a racetrack. Started off horse, then was car. And then they had carnivals and fairs here. Now, most of the park has had the dirt moved around a lot. There's still pockets here and there where you find some cool stuff. Now I found a lot of silver here, but one thing they had over here, they must have had an old attraction with skeet shooting or something, because we find shotgun shells by the dozens, sometimes in one hunt. And this is no exception. I got an old rusty nail, still had the 12 about 8 inches down, and there it is. I think I set my personal record for shotgun shells out here. I think it was 20 some in one day. So. But that means there's still V-nickels here, or buffaloes. So we keep digging. Now just going along this big tree, and it kind of shows you the age of this park when you get a part of a horseshoe about 5 inches down. So pretty cool piece from the very early days of this place. I'll tell you what, I checked the hole before I filled it in where I got the horseshoe, and it was giving me a 16. I dug down, and I'll be darned, look at that. There was an old nickel underneath. That looks like a Jefferson, but hey, that's pretty awesome. I was not getting the nickel signal before, but yeah, looks like it might be an early one too. But I'll check the hole again before I cover it up, and that's pretty cool. Oh, you're not going to believe this. I didn't believe it. I'll tell you what. I've hunted this spot a bunch of times before, but maybe I just was coming from the wrong angle, or maybe the iron signal caught me at the end of the day and I'm like, eh. But I'll tell you what, I checked the hole again. There's that nickel, and I did it with the pinpointer. I'm getting another signal, so I just popped it with the digger, and check this out. It looks like there's a silver quarter. Never once did I get a signal from it. Either it was on edge, or it had this nickel sitting on it, or look at that. That is crazy. Oh, well, you gotta like that. Second hole. Oh yeah, check it out. 41 silver Washington. Love it. Absolutely love it. Probably the nickel's going to be about the same time period, maybe. I'm going to check this one more time. That's it. Well, I'll tell you what, that's the quickest a horseshoe ever gave me luck. Well, this is a great example of why I love digging it all so much, especially the big iron signals. Those big iron signals often turn out to be some really interesting relics, but I can't tell you how many times over the years, after I've cleared out that big iron, that there was something else awesome down in the hole that iron had been masking. Well, another find in the park. I tell you, I haven't been to this park in a couple years because the finds were starting to dry up a little bit, and I was just on to other things. But I think you should always revisit your really good spots, because I just think you get better. You know, every weekend I think I get better, and you get to know your machine better, and sometimes you have a new piece of equipment to try out, like this 5x10 Coiltek. And I got a 16, and I got like a brass pin like a hinge pin or something. And right next to it I got a 16, and it's pretty cool. I popped the plug, flipped it out, and look what fell out. Yep, that is an old Model T contact. Very cool and very old, 1908 to 1927, somewhere in that range. So very cool, happy to have that, and just shows you there's still old stuff hidden in this place. Well, we have yet another mystery solved this week, thanks to all of you watching last week. You may recall this strange iron relic that I found in last week's episode. Well, Kevin Griffith and Dacone710 were quick to let me know that what I'd actually found was part to an old furrow plow. So a huge thank you goes out to Kevin, Dacone, and everyone else out there that helped make last week's mystery find this week's mystery solved. Well, it was getting a nice solid 12, hoping for a nickel, but shotgun shell. But I like these shotgun shells. These are nice early Peters shotgun shells. See if I can get it in here. But it's also one of the old brass type too. But that's going to be early 1900s. It's got the big P logo on it, and I just like digging these old shotgun shells. Pretty darn cool. Well, I'll tell you what, I think I might have something pretty good here. You'll have to excuse the lawnmower noise. I'm kind of close to the edge of the park here and someone's mowing the grass, but oh boy, I got an 11 dug down and I got a coin. I was not expecting that. Now, I will say that shield nickels ring up an 11, but it could be a really worn V. I don't know, but it does look old, so we're gonna find out together. And hopefully it's got enough detail on it. Oh, it's a V nickel. How cool is that? Wow, about 5 inches down, that was it. Oh, that's awesome. So awesome. Well, let me get it cleaned up and I'll get you a date. But that is just awesome. I'm so thrilled with that, and another great find with that new coil. Well, it's a little tough to tell, but if I had to guess, I would say 1903. You might be able to see it better than I can right now, but I'm just thrilled with that. I found a lot of unicles here, and I was hoping there was another one left. I'm on this hillside here. I mentioned that I was on the edge of the park and someone was mowing. Well, I got to talking to him and I got permission to hunt their property that borders right on this old park. And it's a steep hillside going up, and back in the 30s and 40s, this was obviously a dump. Matter of fact, his mother told me they paid a lot of money to have all this old junk hauled off. I can only imagine what they hauled off. But everything seems to be 30s or 40s, and I got a signal here, and I got that, and it's kind of cool. It's the push button for an old chrome outside door handle for a car or truck. It's pretty cool and definitely vintage. Well, I was just going along this hillside here, and I saw kind of a vintage soda bottle sticking out of the ground. It's probably going to be 60s, and I think it might be Pepsi, but it's missing the top, unfortunately. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Yeah, there it is, Pepsi. And It might even have a date down on the bottom. I'll have to look later. Pretty cool though. Definitely 60s vintage, and hey, we'll see what else we get here. I got a big 2023 signal, and when I dug this up, it reminded me that she also told me they hauled off so many old car parts out of here. She said I almost had enough to put a car together, and this target definitely reminded me of that, and it's pretty darn cool. It's an old porcelain spark plug, but check it out. This is a very old brand. It's a Wizard, and that is pretty cool, and it gives me the part number. So it was a number 35 and made in USA. That's an awesome piece. That's a great display piece. Yeah, when I started to head down here to start swinging, the lady said, "Good luck." She goes, "You're going to find a lot of junk." And I'm thinking, oh, that's kind of my treasure usually. And this is an excellent example. This is a vintage razor, and it looks like a pretty old disposable, but maybe not. I put this one in the 60s, and pretty cool. It's got a neat looking handle, so I like it. And just in case you were wondering when the very first cartridge razor came out, well, it was Gillette that brought the very first one out, all the way back in 1971. Well, this hole was giving me a nice 22. I'm really having to hang on here. This is a very steep hillside. I dug down and I got this. I'm like, oh boy. But unfortunately, I don't see anything on it. But as I started to fill the hole, I looked over, and look at that, sitting right on top of the ground. Very cool old amber bottle. Still has the old cap on it. That is nice. Pretty cool. Maybe some kind of medicine bottle, but pharmaceutical, but that's a good looking bottle. I like it. Well, this one was giving me a 31, and it is old. It is a old stainless or chrome headlight bezel. Held the headlamp bulb in on a, this is probably going to be from a 40s car. So yeah, who knows what else. I'm hoping maybe some old toys, or I don't know. It's kind of fun though. This one was giving me a 25, and I honestly don't have a clue what this is. It feels like lead. I mean, it is heavy, but then it has this little bracket on the back. Huh, no idea. I'll get it cleaned up when I get home. Might be a little odd, little mystery find. Well, this one was giving me a 28, and I dug down and I thought it was just going to be a quarter, something a little better. It's one of the old Shell station tokens, and I cleaned it off. I think it's President Harding. Pretty cool. And these were given out in 1969 and 1970, the Mr. President coin game. So I find lots of these, but I always like finding them. They're pretty darn cool. Well, this isn't much of a find, I guess, but it's pretty interesting, so I thought I'd show it to you. I have never seen a pull tab like that, but I think, I don't know, I have to get it cleaned up. I think it says Fight Letter on this side. But man, I have never seen this pull tab before. Well, this is this hillside I'm hunting, and I was getting all kinds of tones, so I'm kind of listening, and all of a sudden I get this nice little high tone blip, and it gets my attention. I look over and check it out. It's just sticking out of the dirt. I don't know what it is, but it definitely looks 30s or 40s. I'm kind of hoping it's some kind of an emblem or ornament. I don't know. But I thought we'd pull it out together. Oh, how cool is that? Look at that. That's a door handle bezel. Art Deco. I mean, that is cool. Very cool. Skeleton key. And that is one serious Art Deco piece. That is so cool. Oh, I tell you what, I'm looking forward to coming back to this place. Well, that new permission really turned out to be pretty interesting, and I'm definitely going to be heading back there very soon. Well, a crazy weekend turned out awesome. And here's another look at all the neat things I was able to recover in this episode. Well, I hope you all have a wonderful Easter weekend. And don't go anywhere just yet, please. I have some incredible glimpses into the past coming up in just a few seconds. And remember, it's history that makes a find a treasure. And I can't wait to see you back here next week on Finding America.